Hello, my name is Cristina Raluca Popescu. I'm a full professor at the University of Bucharest, Bucharest, Romania, and at the Bucharest University of Economic Studies, Bucharest, Romania. I'm going to present the paper Sustainable Development and Climate Change Management, Opportunities for Disaster Risk Reduction, Integrated Assessment of Air Pollution, and Energy Options for Economic Prosperity. This paper was prepared for the Second International Symposium on Political Science and Public Administration. Theme of the symposium, Climate Change and Sustainable Future, for the Faculty of Economics and Administrative Sciences, Tekirdağ Namık Kemal University, Turkey, held in Tekirdağ, Turkey on the 28th and the 29th November 2024. To begin with, I will offer a few details regarding the abstract. Based on the most recent studies published by the United Nations Environment Programme, these days patterns of energy production as well as energy use, which have shaped in such a wonderful manner the development process of humanity in the past, are no longer regarded as sustainable according to the novel vision expressed by the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. What is more, the energy challenge faced today by countries all around the globe implicates providing energy services intended to allow all individuals and communities to achieve a decent standard of living capable to support sustainable human development. Furthermore, powering a safer future targeted on leaving no one behind ought to avidly center on renewable energy, believed to be at the heart of climate change. In addition, according to Antonio Guterres, the United Nations Secretary General, one of the major aims today ought to be to start making massive investments in the abundant renewable energy due to being encountered all around us, being able to support in this way the well-being of the planet. The current research paper focuses on the one hand on addressing renewable energy benefits as key to a cleaner, safer and sustainable world, as well as on showing the critical actions that the world needs to prioritize in order to accelerate the global shift to renewable energy, and on the other hand, on tackling the major reasons why clean and renewable energy is higher and helps address several pivotal issues such as climate change, air pollution, health, and well-being. The center part of this novel scientific work is represented by a case study on the nexus between renewable energy and jobs creation in the renewable industry. The findings display, among others, the paramount advantages of renewable industry on the one hand in creating green jobs, hence ensuring a just energy transition, and on the other hand in ensuring the power supply diversification of options, hence having in mind that resilience and energy security represent a must while market shocks need to be avoided. Moving on, the keywords in this case are business environment, energy transition, renewable energy, climate pollutants, green jobs, human well-being, human health, risk management practices, sustainability consulting, United Nations Environment Programme, and Sustainable Development Goals. In the introduction, we focused on several issues, among which we could mention the pivotal questions of this current research. Namely, the first question is, what are the key links between sustainable development and climate change management? For this question, we had in mind several ideas. First of all, the lack of organizational engagement in most cases. Second of all, insufficient investment to build the needed capacities to sustain change, especially in those cases in which the organizations accentuate the sustainability transformation in terms of the what rather than the how. Moving on, we have the second research question, which is how can sustainability transform opportunities that are focused on disaster risk reduction, integrated assessment of air pollution, and energy options for economic prosperity. In this case, we had in mind the following ideas. On the one hand, the conventional business as usual model is no longer adequate for these days' challenges, and that is the reason why the focus of the leaders ought to be beyond the conventional business as usual model by centering on exploring unique skills, new mindsets, and enhanced leadership approaches that are able to create and inspire collective commitment to long-term sustainability goals, with a particular accent in this case on renewable energy. And also, on the other hand, today's leaders are expected to be able to lead by example, being able to show which are their values in order to create credibility and to inspire other people while having in mind specific abilities such as accountability, the capacity to empower individuals in taking actions towards sustainable change, the skills to empower others, and the abilities to foster collective answers. Moving on, we have several research objectives. First of all, the first research objective of this paper revolves around creating the theoretical background or the literature review, having in mind key concepts such as business environment, energy transition, renewable energy, and the sustainable development goals. Moving on, we have the research objective number 2. This research objective has in mind the following ideas. At the level of organizations, leaders have to be able to deepen individual self-awareness in order to be able to display their personal strength and the areas for development which are relevant to organizational and societal transformation. At the general level, leaders have to focus on cultivating coaching skills based on the fact that they can represent vital collaborative tools capable to create change. And also, besides the aforementioned aspects, exploring the concept of sustainable leadership is pivotal to all organizations centered on the Sustainable Development Goals. Moving on, we have the third research objective, which is to make thorough analysis of the most recent changes and challenges that occurred in terms of the opportunities for disaster risk reduction, integrated assessment of air pollution, and energy options for economic prosperity, with a keen focus on renewable energy. Regarding the literature review, we have an interesting table here, which is table number 1, focusing on climate change in the post-COVID-19 era, while addressing the challenges of achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. For instance, we have here the following aspects. The focus these days is on making global efforts able to tackle hunger, poverty, and ill health, improve access to clean water and energy, and many other aspects of sustainable development, which is pointed by the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization. Here we have the following ideas. There are several steps due to be taken into consideration. For instance, we can think about reducing poverty, since the accent should be placed on people that need to adapt to change in order to be able to limit the impact of the problems derived from climate change. So we can move on now to several aspects related to climate change, such as, for instance, the total carbon dioxide emissions from fossil fuels increased 1% globally in 2022 compared to 2021. These figures were displayed by United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization in 2023 in a report published by this organization. Moreover, there is a 98% chance that one of the next 5 years will be the warmest of on record. And also, we have some aspects related to affordable and clean energy, sustainable energy for all. Here, the first aspect due to be highlighted is that extreme weather events and climate change threaten the achievement of the sustainable goal number 7 by changing energy supply capability and demand, by making the clean energy transition more predictable and potentially more expensive. Moving on, we have here some details regarding energy planning and operations, and we noted the following. Big data and artificial intelligence offer potential for enhanced energy system operation. Moving on, here in table number 2, addressing and centering on the importance of sustainable development and climate change management, sustainable growth and sustainable development goals, we have a major concept, sustainable development goals. Here we mention the fact that we need to build economic growth, but this time the economic growth has to be focused on the sustainable development goals, namely on education, health, social protection, job opportunities, and personal development, also while addressing climate change and environmental protection. We also have other concepts such as sustainable development and climate change management. While analyzing these concepts, we have to focus on sustainable development policies that are aimed on sustainable economic, social, and environmental development. Also, we are thinking about climate change and sustainability. In this matter, we can think about climate and water-related sciences, also about better health, clean energy, food and water security, sustainable oceans, smart and resilient cities, among others. By mitigating climate change, we have to focus on the following aspects. On the one hand, there is the great need to position science as the central solution capable to generate and enhance progress on the sustainable development goals. And on the other hand, the global science community ought to stand united in constantly delivering the optimum solutions capable to mitigating climate change, since there is the need for a sustained effort to achieve prosperity for the people and the planet. Moving on, in terms of research and the findings, we can focus on the ideas highlighted in table number 3, illustrating the benefits of renewable energy while covering climate change fundamentals and exploring sustainable development in terms of environment, social, and economic aspects. While centering on these days' case of different ecosystems, while having in mind the risks associated with natural disasters, we ought to focus on covering climate change fundamentals and on fostering structural changes which would lead to global energy transformation. Moving on, while thinking about the case of non-renewable energy aspects, while focusing on the aspects related to non-renewable energy aspects like fossil fuels, coal, oil, and natural gas, and accelerating renewable energy development represents a must when it comes to striving towards a human-centered approach and a holistic vision capable to embrace the sustainable development goals. We have here also a new idea highlighted, enhancing climate change adaptation. As a result of health and environmental issues, agriculture productivity, species, diversity and loss, water resources scarcity, rise in sea level, and coastal area submergence. Moving on, we have concluded the following. The current study is supported by the findings and the outcomes obtained in other papers and reports on similar topics. Moreover, this study shows the importance of the Sustainable Development Goals, and the focus should be on key points such as policy and regulations intended to support the people as well as the environment, accentuating the need for healthier environment, finance innovation and support, since building competitive models capable to support renewable energy sources implicates significant investments, resources and capacity building, and products and services innovation, since combating global warming implicates taking into account mental health, health-related illnesses, respiratory problems, vector-borne diseases, waterborne diseases, cardiovascular diseases, infectious diseases, nutritional deficiencies, and other health discrepancies and disparities. In the end, the author would like to be very thankful and appreciative to distinguished Associate Professor Dr. Seda Hashpostanci from the Faculty of Economics and Administrative Sciences, Tekirdağ Namik Kemal University, Tekirdağ, Turkey, for the invitation to be part in this first-rate and delightful international scientific event, and also for sending the invitation for the position of invited speaker and keynote speaker at this distinguished symposium. Thank you very much, dear professor. Thank you, and I wish you a nice day. I will stop sharing now the slides, and I will stop the presentation. Thank you very much.